Hello, Board, Dr. Cleveland. I've got an update on construction and then some of the support services tonight. So first of all, I wanted to thank all the departments that work for the support services, all the architects and construction managers that work with us, and all the building staff and administrators. So yesterday, I went to George to meet a lot of the teachers, and that got me to thinking about this because they hadn't been in George all summer long. So they showed up yesterday to get in their classrooms, and they were caught off guard a little bit. But they've all been very positive. We've made a lot of progress since last week. So that just got me to thinking about everybody that the construction involves. So just wanted to thank all of those people. Okay, at Central, it's moving along pretty good. This is in the downstairs area. They're putting in some of the block walls for the corridor areas. A lot of the fireproofing's in, a lot of infrastructure's going into this building. There's a few other pictures of sprinkler pipes and everything going in. Exterior, they've got a lot of the yellow board on, and they've started applying the liquid waterproofing to these to try to get these buildings closed up to the weather. So this is on the back side of Central. They've got all the liquid applied waterproofing on it. More on the interior, they're doing a lot of block work in there to get those interior walls done. Here's the side toward Gutenson. They've got all the yellow board on, and they're actually starting to put the waterproofing on that as well. And then you can see the learning stairs in that multi-purpose area are pretty much complete. You guys have any questions at Central? I mean, it's looking pretty good. I know the driveway that goes out to Emma Street, they're probably about 3 weeks away from making that street cut. So they're pouring, so we had to put culverts across that drainage ditch. So we've got those in. They poured the head walls on that. Curbs are poured back on the north side of that. So once they get all that complete, they'll actually make that connection onto Emma. So
I was over there yesterday. I think Ms. Trustin was over there yesterday as well. We drove Emma. It's open.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't been on the new Emma Street behind Central. It's pretty awesome.
Yep.
It ought to be great for Mr. Conkin and his whole bus team.
Yeah.
Getting in and out back through there. And by the way, y'all did an awesome job throughout summer school too, transporting everyone. So just kudos to you guys. But,
Yeah.
Now, where I saw the double gates
Mm-hmm.
on Emma Street, is our road going to come straight into it, or is it curving around and going through the double gates when they have that?
It'll come out. It'll come out on the east side of that double gate. Kind of, you'll see the corner of our property. There's corner posts, and then there's new fence right through there. It'll come out right there.
So there's a really wide area.
Mm-hmm.
We probably did this properly, but there's a really wide area that's already been cut. It's been
Yep.
open. That's where it's going out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. It is, and like I said, we expect that to be done in probably about 3 weeks, as long as the weather cooperates. So that'll help the traffic flow and everything at Central a lot. And I think that Emma Street will help it also,
What's the estimated completion date?
To move into phase 1, I think that will be, I don't have it with me, but I think it'll be right after spring break. So we're going to move in.
2024. Okay.
Yep. So we will, whenever we get enough complete to make the switch, we'll have to plan that move with Dr. Lofton. We've been visiting with him because there's some testing and stuff that goes on around that time. So we're just going to have to really pick our time to move. It'd be nice if we could do it over spring break, but But yeah, there'll be a lot of planning to make that move. And then once we make that move, we'll start demolition on some of that and then start phase 2, roll right into it. But we'll be working with Dr. Lofton on a lot of that.
I was over there yesterday my wife was doing some pictures of the volleyball teams, and the teachers were all doing tours of the new area, and they were finding their classrooms, and they were pretty pumped. They
Yeah.
were pretty excited about it.
Yeah. So yesterday, Alan did tours at Southwest and at Central, different times of the day. He said everything was very positive. All the staff, all the administrators really enjoyed getting to go in. They could actually see, what areas are going to be and what it looks like. So that was a good day spent doing those tours and stuff. So. Okay, so at Southwest, they've got a lot of their exterior boards on, and this is actually the north side. They've started putting on a lot of the brick, so it's moving really well there. They're completing a lot of the interior walls or metal stud framed, starting to put on the board back on the east side of the building. On the inside, they've got ductwork going in, sprinklers, a lot of the infrastructure's going in. They've got some HVAC units set on the roof. They'll be ducting those in soon, so that'll be a conditioned space pretty quick. There's some more views of the learning stairs. They've just got a ton of metal stud work going on in there, and then putting in electric and a lot of the utilities. That just shows the mini gym and more of the same type of work going on. They are making a lot of progress at Southwest, and like I said, they toured yesterday. Is all positive. They could actually see what areas are going to be and everything. So. You guys have anything at Southwest? We did take possession of the weight room area. We've got that pretty much done. We did order a few more lockers, so they would have, I think 52 is what would fit in there. So those are ordered, and then we're going to put some of that, the flooring in the weight room, like we did at Springdale and HAR-BER. As soon as it gets here, they'll get that put in, and then that'll be completed. But the coaches are using it. They've been using it most of this summer when they came back to start practices. Okay, so at Springdale High School, they've got most of the locker rooms back on the south side. All the concrete work's done, the block work. This is a view of the interior. This is looking down the educational wing. So they've got the block work done. They've got the roof on. They're starting to run a lot of duct work and a lot of utility work in that area. These are just some of the hallways that's between the gyms, main gym and the auxiliary gym. And then the picture on the right is the auxiliary gym. So they're starting to stub everything out for the duct sock, getting ready for the HVAC units. As soon as they get here, they'll put those in and start conditioning that building for the wood gym floor.
Do you have an ETA on that, or is it still wide open?
It's still November. It is the ETA on those two big HVAC units for those gym areas. We do have temporary cooling in there, but we'll have to get those big units on before we can get the humidity down enough to put the wood floor in. It's got to acclimate and pull that moisture out of that concrete. There's a couple more views of the arena. They are getting ready to pour the upstairs to finish all that concrete up. I took Coach Fimple and Coach Barnett and Coach Wood over there maybe a week and a half ago. We toured it, actually got up there, you walked around. It really is looking good up there. Here's a couple other views. Some of the staircases that's in the educational wing, there's a couple sets of staircases and an elevator on that wing. And so they've actually started putting some of the finishes on the exterior and stuff. So they're making good progress there. And we should get in February. We still have a few utilities opened up in the courtyard that will be opened. When school starts, they'll have construction fence around those until we get all the connections made. You guys have any questions about Springdale? Okay. So George Elementary, these are the 2 classrooms that were set up the best as possible yesterday at 3 o'clock. I went
I
over.
haven't seen any of that on Sunday.
So, yeah, Randy and I talked on Monday. Last week, this building, you wouldn't have thought you could have had anybody in it. And made a few phone calls. We pulled it together, worked over the weekend. And this was at 3:30 yesterday is when I took all these photos. I waited as long as I could. But like I said, all the teachers have been great. Swope's been great. They're working with us. So these are the halls and the cafeteria. We were still grinding on those up until about 3 o'clock today in the cafeteria to get all the grout and everything off of those. Ceiling tile, we got all the ceiling tile in except one section. We were waiting on the mason today to get a block replaced that got broke. As soon as it got replaced, they'll have it back up and ceiling tile in tonight. We got all the HVAC running yesterday. We finished it up about 8:45 last night. Other than the 2 units that's in the new lobby, those aren't up and running yet. But all of the classrooms, library, all of that, they are up and running. This is looking out of the main entrance. So we had to replace a lot of this driveway. So this is last night about 3:30. We're having to dig that out. We did a compaction test last night. 2 places didn't pass, so we dug them out deeper. Had a compaction set up for 8 o'clock this morning, and it rained most of the night. So we did not pass. So we had to dig that out more. Actually got it roll tested, passed. So we've got gravel back in it. Asphalt's set to come tomorrow. Striping on Saturday.
Isn't it supposed to storm tomorrow?
It's supposed to, there's a chance. There's a chance, but
There's a pretty big chance.
there is. So we'll have it.
Maybe they can just do the asphalt pour.
Yeah. So we're gonna make it on this. So
I like the
Here's-
positivity.
this is looking at the lobby. So they're actually getting everything dried in, and everything. This front entrance, it will be open by the first day of school, so we can drop kids off. They can come right into the lobby, right into the library, and that's where Swope's got his temporary office set up. That's just some more pictures of the yellow board, and actually they're starting to put the liquid applied waterproofing on that today. All the permanent TPO roof that goes over that parapet wall is started today. This is actually the lobby coming in. So they've actually got sheetrock in there, and they were actually painting today when I was there. It was about 2:30. So they will have portions of this open.
Will we have people working on the roof and stuff when school starts, or when school starts, everything's done?
No, we're gonna have some people still working on the roof. We're gonna work from the front back to the part where the gym and everything's gonna be attached, cafeteria. So we're still gonna have several contractors on site. So they're gonna be doing the metal around the soffits and the parapet walls, and just wrapping right on back around to the back. So this is on the west side, looking back at the school. They've got all the footings in, but really we've pulled all of the contractors off of this part everybody's on the front part trying to get the front done, get the classrooms done. We're putting in the camera system today, just trying to button all that up. And then once school starts, they'll slide everybody back over to this. And they'll start laying block and trying to get steel and everything in. We did shift all the construction fence that was around the front. That all moved, so the parking lot to the south will be open for teachers. And then part of the teachers will park up in the parking lot that's between Georgia Junior High and Georgia Elementary. And then the buses will drop off on that side of the building. They'll come in that southeast wing. And that's just another view of it. So that where the white TPO comes over the edge, that's actually the kitchen. Those are temporary. The TPO is just temporary over it to close that up, so we can use the kitchen. And then when the new building gets up, they will make that permanent connection where those buildings connect.
We have a backup plan if, rain comes in and just pushes everything?
We'll have,
Be out there in
Yeah.
raincoat?
so if we don't get the front driveway done because of weather, we do have a plan to drop the kids off on the south side. So Swope's got a plan in place, working with Kevin, so we'll have a plan. But, okay. You guys have any other questions at George? Okay. So this summer, we've done a bunch of roof repairs and then waterproofing, and that's just a list of the schools. We're working on that. We'll have a couple of those finished up by the time school starts, but we will have contractors on some of these schools as school starts, and then we're going to work around testing, and whatever we need to work around, we'll do that. And then once these are done, we have about 10 more that'll start in the fall and next summer to be complete for all the ones that got hail damaged. And we're still working with insurance to finalize next summer's. This is phase one of these. Phase two, we don't have quite completed with insurance yet, but we will have by the time we're ready to start. So transportation, last month we talked about it a little bit, the new software and everything. Here's kind of what the actual equipment will look like in the buses. So it will give the drivers turn by turn. There's a scanner to the right side of it. So when they actually scan a student, it'll pull up another screen, which I didn't add on here because it had student information on it. But it'll bring up the screen. It'll tell the student's name, their address. It'll tell the driver if they're on the wrong bus or if it's the wrong stop. So it's just another way to verify they are dropping them at the right place, or if they move, that information will automatically load into the system. I think at midnight is what Kevin told me.
What's that?
All this information updates at midnight.
Yes.
Yeah, through
What are they
eSchool.
scanning? You said they're scanning them as they get on. What are they?
They will have it'll be like I don't know if they went with barcode or the little cube. What's it?
QR.
Yeah, QR code. But they'll have something on their backpack.
Okay.
So they'll scan on and scan off. It'll send the parents, if they sign up, they'll get a text or an email, that their kid got off at this address. The bus is running 3 minutes late or whatever. It'll keep them updated if they sign up for that feature. So, but that's what it looks like. It should help the drivers out a lot, especially a new driver, or if a driver's taking a different route that's not their normal route, it will do turn by turn. So that should help them a lot. Do you guys have any questions on the transportation software? We did get all the routes in. Tracy finished those up yesterday. We're still getting a few sped changes with some sped students. Some of the schools are getting ads as these kids get signed up in school, you know, they have to add them into the system. So she's working through those as they come in.
Does the turn-by-turn stuff, does it like talk to you as you're driving, or do you have like a earpiece that it tells you what's going on, or what?
No, I think it does turn by turn just like your GPS. It'll,
Just like you would
yeah.
have your Siri set up.
Mhm.
or-
Yep. Also on this, it'll update. So if a bus breaks down or if that bus can't run a route for some reason and it's picking up a different set of kids, they can change the routing in this software. So it should make it a whole lot easier. Okay, that's all I had.
That's a lot.
I know.
That's a lot.
I tried to shorten it down. I put 2 pictures per slide, but I don't think it helped. Okay, well, I'll let Gina Smith come up and talk to you about food service.